I can have everybody's attention. I want to thank you for coming out tonight. This is a public hearing on an environmental assessment. And what you need to know about what that means is the Paulding County Airport is what's called federally obligated property. So that means federal money was used to purchase the real estate upon which the airport was built. So that obligates us to an environmental process called the NEPA process, which is a way of ensuring that the federal government takes no action that unintentionally or otherwise adversely affects our environment. And if so, it's got to be justified and defended and those sorts of things. So a part of that process is we as the owner of the property, which is the Paulding County Airport Authority and Paulding County Board of Commissioners, have written a draft environmental assessment. There's a copy on display on both of these boards. There's a printed copy of both of these tables. So if you've not had an opportunity to read it, it's also displayed on the Paulding County website, the pauldingcounty.gov website. This meeting has been advertised appropriately in the legal organ of Paulding County, which is the Dallas New Era. And we are gathering these inputs so that we can then make another revision of the draft to then submit to the FAA. The FAA will then add their comments and any additional research, defense, justification that has to be added will be done. And so at that point, they will presumably sign off on the document, and it becomes an official FAA document at that point. You'll notice on the cover letter, on the cover page, it says becomes an official document once signed by the FAA. So it's our draft. It will be their document once finally presented. We are not really here to discuss the school per se. The fact that the school is the purpose for the land being released is somewhat incidental to the environmental issues of federally obligated property. We do have to state what the purpose of the release is, which we've done in the document, so that if, for example, if we were going to release this for a chemical plant, obviously that would be a totally different environmental concern. But it's being released for an office building for the purpose of teaching and standing up what I think everybody here knows by now is the A&P school that's going to be a part of the Chattahoochee Tech system. And we're very excited to have that here. But the focus is on environmental issues. Hopefully, as you all came in, the sun hadn't set yet, and you saw the site. It's at the base of the water tower, right on the side of Airport Parkway as you come down the main driveway. This site is where the ARF station, which was our firefighting station, was going to go. That firefighting station is now being built on the other side of 278, which made this property surplus to the needs of the airport. The FAA has already published in the Federal Register their intent to release the property. And in that announcement, you can read that at federalregister.gov, I believe, is how you find that. But if you go look at that, it says that they have already made the determination to release the property pending the outcome of this environmental assessment that we're conducting now. So they've determined that, in fact, this property is surplus to the needs of this airport. So it does not adversely affect us from an air operations standpoint, which is one of the key triggers for determining if the FAA is going to grant us permission to proceed with this process of the release. So with all of that said as a background, what I'm going to invite everybody to do is to mill around the two tables that we've got set up, peruse the document. If you haven't had an opportunity to do so, you can sit down with the hard copy and read it word for word in its entirety in just a few minutes. It's only about 9 pages. And then at the end, there's a plat, the actual survey plat that shows the boundaries of the 2.9 acres. And then there's a bigger picture in there that shows the airport and it shows where that plat, the bigger plat, fits into the geography here. I'll be walking around. I'll be happy to address any questions that you've got. You can come to this table if you want to write a comment. You can go to our court reporter over here and you can give a verbal statement, which will then be transcribed into a written statement. And at the end, when all of the comments have been collected, it'll be my duty to go through and analyze all of those comments. And what I'm looking for, and what the FAA is looking for, and what GDOT is looking for, are comments of a significant environmental nature, specifically, that would trigger us having to then go take additional studies or actions to determine any environmental controversy related with the release of this 2.9 acres. So I'm not going to open the floor for comments or speeches or anything of that sort, but I will be here as long as anyone wants to stay and ask me questions. Please feel free to make yourself at home and absorb the written material that's here in front of you. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to talk to me. Dr. Newcomb is here somewhere. Where are you?
He left.
Where is he?
He left.
Oh, he did leave. Oh, okay. Well, we have several. Well, Jason, you're here.
Yeah.
That you could probably address anything that comes up on from a Chattahoochee Tech perspective. We have 3 of our commissioners here. We appreciate y'all coming. Several school board members I see around the room. Thank y'all for coming. Martin, always a pleasure to have you here at the airport. Thank you for the support that you've been to this project. Could not have done it without you and the others that have worked so hard to get us to this point. So we're very appreciative. This is just going to be a terrific thing for this community and this county. I hope everybody agrees that education of our next generation is of just vital importance. And this is a sort of a unique opportunity for this community to have this kind of input into a state and national issue and help address the shortage of workers in the aerospace industry that we're going to face over the next 20, 30, 40 years. So with that, make yourself at home. Again, come up and ask me anything that you want to ask me. Mill around and read the documents. Feel free to put your written statements in. Give a verbal statement to our court reporter. And when it looks like everybody's had an opportunity to make their inputs, we'll go ahead and dismiss and call it an evening. Thank you. Does anybody have any other written comments that they would like to provide for the process? All good? Does anybody want to make a verbal statement to our court reporter for the record? All good? Thank you all very much for coming out and being a part of this process. This is about as simple as it gets from an environmental standpoint, but it doesn't matter if it's this or building a dam. The federal government has to go through the exact same steps to give the public an opportunity to participate. And I want to thank y'all for taking time out of your busy day to do just that. It's been awesome to see as many people come out as we did have. And if you ever have any issues, questions, concerns, you want to tour, you want to see what's going on at the Paulding County Airport, please come out. We would love to have as many members of our public as possibly can to come out here and get their hands on aviation at whatever level is appropriate for you. Whatever you're comfortable with, be it taking flying lessons, be it just come out and watch the planes land. But especially with your kids, your grandkids, bring them out, introduce them to aviation. This is an exciting industry. This is a great opportunity for this community. And our kids can really benefit in the future from being pilots, mechanics, air traffic controllers. I mean, there are just so many opportunities in this industry. And we intend to make this airport a part of that going forward. You guys that are in the state legislature, our local representatives, our school board members, thank y'all so much for the support that y'all have given us It's been an interesting trip down this avenue of being the airport director of the Paulding County Airport, but it is a delight to be a part of what's happening here now. And everybody in here is a part of that. And we don't always agree, but in this country, we don't always have to agree. That's the beauty of it. And when we disagree, we work it out. And I believe we have done that. We're moving forward. And I want to move forward with as many people on my side of the rope and helping me pull as I can possibly get. And I think it's appropriate for me to go ahead and announce that we have all positive comments tonight. We had a few very good in-depth questions that hopefully I was able to answer. People who had questions about, where does the water go, what kind of animals are here, those kinds of things. And that's why we go through this process. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Please leave. Thank y'all for coming out.
Hey, three things, Terry, come on.
I heard a question.
Three things that I was told you.